Welcome to the Cosmetic Podcast.
This podcast amplifies the topics you want to hear about.
Cosmetic means being a person or thing that gives rise to a phenomenon that is dynamic or energizing.
Globally minded and locally focused.
I'm Keith Benson.
And I'm Rodrigo Ross.
Today we're talking about stress management. I want to put out a full disclaimer. We are going through some very challenging times right now. So think about this. Either you're going to come out as a hunk, a chunk, a drunk, or a monk.
And just depending on what day, I could be any of the four.
Yeah. So as we talk about a hunk, we want to define these so we can be all on the same page. As a hunk, we're talking about, maybe that is too much exercise, right?
So your way of dealing with the stress of the COVID-19 crisis and the shelter in place is to just really get in lots of exercise, to really move to the fitness side of things, spending all of your free time in that exercise space.
And with the why, one of the things that we've done is that a lot of people come to us to be able to work out, and so they can't come inside. So we put up these virtual fitness classes. Mm-hmm. And so giving people this access so that they can continue on, because we do want people to stay with us.
Absolutely. And we recognize that many of the folks that come and exercise with us, they have their favorite Group X instructor, they have their favorite trainer, and during these times you can't see them, and there's no better way than through virtual fitness for you guys to connect, get some exercise in, check in on one another. I really do like it. Now, I don't like the exercise part of it, but I like the check-in part.
Yeah, well, I would tell you that me and exercise, we haven't been the best of friends here lately.
Okay.
And so me and my hunk side may be a little bit lacking when we come out of this.
You are unhunky, is what you're saying. Non-hunky.
Yeah. And so I'm probably going to move over to our next category, which is chunk.
Yes.
And so chunk is too much eating.
Right.
And so I'm sure everybody's familiar with the freshman 15. Uh-huh. And so now people are saying it's the freshman 15 versus the COVID-19 pounds.
Yeah.
And so when we think about the freshman 15, for those of you all who may not be familiar, that's just a term when a freshman goes off to college, and in that first year they say that individuals may gain 15 pounds because of maybe their intake of food is a little bit more than what they're accustomed to.
Little more. And they don't have mom and dad making them eat vegetables and cooking healthy meals. They're eating out on the fly. They're eating junk food. And so, as they're acclimating to college life, them 15 pounds.
I would tell you that, I had a go-to. I was been grocery shopping, going to Walmart, picking up the things for the house.
Right.
And I came across these popcorn with Oreos mixed in there. I knew
anything with Oreos is heaven.
Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have messed with those.
But you did.
I did.
Okay.
And I am feeling every bit of the chunk that's going on right now.
I can absolutely relate to the chunk. My buttons is what's social distancing these days. I have not worn any pair of pants that did not have elastic in the waist. We family, so I'm just gonna tell it today. I've gained that COVID-19 and then some. I'm positive.
Well, my buttons on my pants are gonna certainly understand what social distancing means.
Yes.
Because it may not be 6 feet. It ain't got that bad.
Well, okay.
But it might be 6 inches.
It might be.
I'm just saying.
Just a little bit.
I'm saying it's because sometimes that comfort food is that kind of go-to for the stress.
Yeah.
It's like, let me just snack on something. This is gonna make me feel good.
Yeah. I promise you, true story. I'm watching this show the other day, and it is so good, and I'm having a great time, and I'm sitting in my chair, and I look down, and I'm like, I'm eating. I don't even remember going to get these cookies that I am now eating that consequently are almost done. So it's just mindless. Like you just grab stuff. Like I'm walking around like a cookie zombie. I'm just, for no reason, I'm just chewing.
Yeah, and so this market research company, Information Resources Incorporated, they say consumers are increasingly purchasing indulgent foods to help deliver joy during difficult days at home.
Yeah, I can absolutely relate. I am definitely one of I'm the chunk master. This is my category for sure. I am a comfort eater.
And so they said, check this one out. I said, when looking across all channels for the week ending in March 15, 2020, it said consumers bought about 50% more cookies and salty snacks than during the same time period in the previous year.
Wow.
And then it say chocolate candy went up 21%. Non-chocolate candy went up 14%. Ice cream and sherbet went up 34%. And then those frozen novelties went up 38%.
I think I am single-handedly responsible for the ice cream and the frozen novelty increase.
You know, I went out and so I called myself like, okay, I ain't gonna get the ice cream. So I did go out and get some sherbet.
And proceeded to eat the entire container. I don't even know if that's better. I don't think it's better.
Yeah. And then, you know, around the chocolate side of things, I'm not a big chocolate guy.
Oh, chocolate is life.
But we did have fondue the other day for snacks.
See, and okay, when was the last time you had chocolate fondue? Right? Like, if we weren't sheltering in place, you would have had no reason to eat chocolate fondue.
But it was good, though.
I know it was.
I had fruit. I had bananas. I had strawberries.
Which makes it better, even though you dipped it in chocolate.
Yeah, and I did have a little pound cake to dip in that chocolate, too.
I figured as much.
But then you got parents that are sharing snacks with their children, you know, a lot more during this time right now. So brands such as Fig Newton, Nutter Butter, they're seeing a 40% increase in new consumers.
Wow, new people, not just me eating the Nutter
Not
Butter.
just you. You have some other. Now, your favorite Oreo, okay? Oreo and Ritz, they're seeing 15 to 20% increase in new consumers.
You know, I will say there are things that I don't eat, you know, in its original form, like carrot cake and cinnamon buns and that. But you give me a carrot cake Oreo, I'm going to eat it. You give me a cinnamon bun Oreo, I am going to eat that. I don't understand what goes. I think there's just like a grandmother in a factory who just loves every cookie. And that's what I feel every time I eat an Oreo.
But the thing with Oreo is that
there is no thing with Oreo. Don't say anything
check
bad
this
about
out.
Oreo.
So for $3.50, you can get the family pack size of Oreos.
Right.
But then for that same $3.50 is a new movie out. I believe it's called Trolls.
Trolls,
And they got this pack. I'm sure it's 3 rows, but I'm sure there's only probably about 9 cookies in each row.
Are you counting cookies?
I'm just saying the 3-pack. The 3 rolls, a
With
pack
less
of Oreos.
cookies.
Yeah, I'm just saying, for the same price.
I don't think I care. I'm going to eat those Oreos. I'm going to go today and find some Trolls Oreos, and I'm going to eat those.
Well, now
all 3 rolls with less cookies in each row.
So we moved from hunk to chunk and now drunk.
Yeah. So this whole idea of virtual happy hour is really a thing. And you know, when I first started hearing about virtual happy hours and when I first started getting these invitations to virtual happy hours, I just thought it was a cute way to invite me to some kind of video conferencing or meeting. But when I got on one, I noticed people actually had cocktails. They were really happy houring. And so Zoom, the founder of Zoom, billionaire Eric Yuan, said he never thought that that's what they would be using Zoom for, but he's not mad. His mission is to just make sure people always have a way to connect in real time. But it's amazing how virtual happy hours are real happy hours.
Well, they say wine is a real thing to make people happy.
Yeah, well, it's true because I've had those too. Not as many as Oreos, but yeah. I'm really happy at the end of those hours.
Okay.
Virtual happy hour is a thing.
Well, then the last area we talked about is monk. And so monk means that lots of spirituality because during this time right now, online church service has become a real thing.
It has, and you know, many churches are actually seeing an uptick in their attendance on their virtual platforms.
Now, you know, folks used to have all these excuses about not going to church.
It used to be a thing, like it was, you couldn't say that and it was accepted. People would side-eye you if you say you went to church online. They were like,
So Bedside Baptist was a thing, right? So, you know, you got good old Bedside Baptist where Pastor Pillow and Deacon Sheets presides over the...
You're going to have to go to church behind that. That's so not right.
But it could be also Box Spring Baptist, where Pastor Blanket is the overseer and Deacon Sheets is a head of the Ursha board.
Cannot with you. You are definitely going to have to repent for all of this. I can appreciate the accessibility of church, right? And that you can get so comfortable and you can just get in your favorite cozy chair, whatever, and access church. But I wonder if there are going to be some repercussions in the tithing portion of the service.
Well, I have been interested in it, and I haven't seen any data on that just yet. But I can tell you that churches are going full stream ahead in terms of making sure they get the word out to the folks, and they're being creative about it.
Yes.
I know one church where the pastor is in his truck, stands up in his truck and preaches while people are in the parking lot, and and so I've seen a lot of different I would tell you that for me with the online services, I've been able to look at some of my favorite pastors, on Sunday now, because I'll listen to mine from my church, but there's a couple of others that I'll get in right after that service also. So I kind of get a twofer.
All over the world, like there are certain churches and certain pastors that I was like, oh, I would love to see them, but I haven't made it to their churches, or heck, they're way far away somewhere. And this gives me the opportunity to kind of peep in and see them in action. I will also say too, churches are taking this opportunity to create like themes, and for the month of March, we're going to be talking about a theme, and then every Sunday is the next installation in this, this theme that we have going on. And some of the theatrics that are involved, like this stuff is really well thought out, and I think it's pushing churches to the next level on how they engage all kinds of folks, and really, increase this spirituality place.
And so as we close out, which one will you be? Will you be the hunk, chunk, drunk, or the monk?
And whichever one you are, just remember there are definitely things that you can do to get to the other side of what we all know to be a very stressful time. Things like avoiding procrastination, spending time with family and friends, laughing, and most importantly, practice mindfulness. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel and be what you are. And as always,
thank you for listening to the Cosnetic Podcast,
where our conversations are global,
globally minded, and locally focused.
Check us out at ymcadallas.org/Cosnetic.
And as always,
stay dynamic,
stay energized,
stay Cosnetic.